Thank you so much for being on the show, Aytekin. Welcome to the Minhaaj podcast.
Hi, Minhaaj. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. Now, Aytekin, when I actually first got access to your book, Automate Your Busy Work, Do Less, Achieve More, and Save Your Brain from Big Stuff, one of the things that I immediately noticed that the book is very, very ahead of its time. So I think the book was published back in 2023, already broke the bestseller board on Wall Street Journal, and then it's Publishers Weekly bestseller. And one of the things I really noticed is that you could see in the future about how automation is the future, and there will be no code everywhere. How did you get to this point? What made you write this book, and how did you even develop this frame of thinking about the future that is very unique to this book?
Yeah, it was published early 2023, but it was actually written much earlier. So by the time we published it, it was already the AI craze already started. But the book actually didn't have any talk about AI. So it was kind of it was kind of bad timing, but also you might consider it good timing because it's not filled with AI. It's just about automation in general, the philosophy. So I would say the reason that I was able to talk about automation, even though actually I wrote the book before the AI craze, is because I kind of have been working on automation for a while. So I I started JotForm about 20 years ago. It's been a long time, and JotForm is a form builder, and I've been growing JotForm as a bootstrap business for this whole time over the last 20 years. And during this time, in the beginning, I thought that I was building like this form builder product, like just helping people create forms. But over time, I discovered that what I'm helping people with is actually automating their work. If you think about JotForm is very popular among education, nonprofits, healthcare, and small businesses. If you think about these, like those four sectors, right? They're all busy with lots of people. Like in education, you have the students, parents, teachers, all the employees, everything, and then you have to do like lots of things for them, for students, right? And if you try to do these things manually, one by one, it's just very time consuming. But if you can actually automate this work, and the best way to automate this work is the forms, and but they don't have any resources, so they cannot just go to a developer and ask them to build an app for them. So they prefer to use tools that can be no code tools that can help them, that can they can use as a self service product. So that's what I saw. Like all these people, they are trying to get their job done. They are trying to communicate with hundreds of thousands of people. But when they are doing that, they need tools that can help them automate. So the journey actually started with forms, but over these 20 years, we added so many automation tools to JotForm, and e-signatures, and conditional things like workflows, approvals, document generation like PDF generation, things like that. So many automation tools we added to JotForm because we saw that people actually needed those things. So I think that's one reason. The other reason is, as a solo, solo bootstrapped business owner, and in the early days, we were very small. Like the first 5 years of JotForm, the first year it was only me. Second year, I added an employee. Third year, I added another. The first 5 years, like I was just adding like a single employee every year. It was that slow at that time, and during this time, I was actually doing everything. And I think this was around like 2008, 2009. Suddenly, someone actually told me, okay, hey, did you see the news? Google actually came out with a competing product. Google Forms came out, and like it was like a clone of JotForm. And at that time, like I was this busy bee, like just doing everything: accounting, legal, HR, ordering supplies for the office, everything. I was responsible for everything. And I thought that if I continued like doing it like this, and I actually really understood our users, because I was also this full time support person for our company. So what happened is like all these, doing all these things, doing support. I understood like what people needed, but I had no time to build it. I had some employees. I had like, three employees probably at that time, but they didn't understand it as much as I like. I didn't really have time to focus on building a product that can actually beat Google Forms. So I thought that I needed to find a solution. I think the solution was like two things. One of them was automation, and the second one was delegation. So to automate things, like I started with my emails. Like I actually developed this system where I can actually process my emails much more effectively, and I can go into details later on if you want to talk about that system I built. I talk about that in the book as well. Uh, I also delegated a lot of work. Like for example, I went to Upwork at that time. It was called Odesk, and just hired like these five international support people, from Philippines to El Salvador, and then just handed over the support work to them. I was learning a lot from our customers, but I had been doing like support for a while, and I already knew like what they needed. So automation and delegation. So I use automation for myself to get rid of all these things like accounting, things like emails. So but then I started, okay, if I'm only improving myself, that's only like one level. What if I could actually teach these principles to my employees? What if I can actually make them more productive? So I was also coaching them to become much more productive, to help them automate things. Even though they were like, most of them were programmers, developers, they also didn't really care about automation much. And like we moved to things like continuous integration and deployment, you know basically running automated tests on the cloud, things like that. Like just it is like right now it's like the default, right? That's the standard, but at that time it was pretty new. Like I was reading Eric Rice's blog even before he had his book, The Lean Startup. So I was applying all these automation ideas to my business. But then I started thinking about, okay, that's the second level, but I'm also building this automation product for hundreds of thousands of people. Why don't I apply these principles to my product? And that's when I started actually just adding all these additional automation functionality on my product. In the beginning, I was thinking, okay, yeah, we are building this tool. This is like a tool. You drag and drop fields, you create your form. But then I started thinking like, okay, I am helping people automate their work. What else I can do? How can I make it easier for them to automate their work? What do I need to add? And like, for example, do they need to be able to create multiple emails so that they can actually trigger requests from other people, like whatever they are doing with emails? Can we help them automate those things? How about like if they need to do approvals? How about if they need to like create these structured PDF documents automatically from the form submissions so that they can actually send it to other people, or save those documents in like durable PDF format? Or do they need like signatures in their forms? Can we help them actually do that? Right? All these things, like just by thinking about automation, I was able to build. And then I think the fourth level was like, how can I actually like help other people as well? Like not just myself, my employees, my customers, but how can I help other people? So I started blogging about it. Like on Medium, I had a pretty big blog, like lots of followers. And then I also started writing for Entrepreneur, Forbes, Fast Company. Like I was talking about this, and then finally, I put these ideas into a book. But I didn't know that, right. I was writing the book. Actually, the huge automation revolution called AI was blowing up, and I released the book, and then the first podcast that I went on to, they started asking me about AI. And I was like, okay, I really not really good at AI, because I'm just, like I've been building this no code product, but I didn't know much about AI. Like I wasn't, I was like, we have been using OpenAI's before ChatGPT, even like GPT was, we were using that to like do some stuff. We were using AI and machine learning to, prevent phishers, spammers on JotForm, all those things. But I wasn't really applying AI to productivity. And then those first conversations with on my podcast about the book actually started help me kind of think about AI. And and just like, I discovered that this is huge. And then since then, since 20, end of 20, like towards the end of 2023, I've been all about AI, like just building all these AI products, and we can also talk about those things, and just seeing a huge potential there.
Yeah, it's so fascinating because one of the lines that I read in your book is very interesting. And I talked to a lot of C-suite employees on my podcast from Google, Facebook, Amazon, X. And one of the things that I noticed, the pattern that I've been noticing between all these people is um, it's summarized in your book, and it says people are not overworked. They are just, let me actually look again to quote exactly. So most people aren't overworked, they are over busy. And I think this is a very fine line, and a very deeply thought line. And you're also embodying that. You talked about that you have been working as 4 or 5 people with HR and sales and legal and everything else in the beginning of your career, helping out the customer at the same time, and you had no time. And then you found out a system to actually automate all of that, and the scale like company to $1 million level. I want you to talk to us a little bit about like how did you actually not only talk about these principles but also embody that in your own work, and it turned out into be a successful company.
Yeah. So, right, uh, actual examples, right, about the automation. All right. I think the biggest one was probably emails. So if you think about, I was like spending probably like 4 or 5 hours every day with my emails. And the problem with emails is like, and they're great. I love it because it's like, async. You can, get back to people on your own time, and then, you can prioritize things. But the email products don't actually have that prioritization. They're basically showing you emails in a time order. And the problem, like if you only receive a few emails a day, that's okay. That's fine. You can all see them all in one screen, right? But if you are like, when my business started to grow, and if you are, you know, a CEO like me whose business is growing, then you start receiving hundreds of emails, and then like on these emails, there are spam, there are, newsletters, but there are also really important email from maybe head of HR, or from an important customer, or maybe, you have all these like regular discussions via email threads, right? So you have all these things going on. But I wanted to be able to see my emails by the priority, because if I did that, I would actually, when I actually open my emails, I would actually first respond to my most important email, and then the second most important, and that would be best. And if I don't have time to look at the spam or the newsletter, that's fine, because I only have limited time. But the thing is, like, no email product actually has that, because I think there are some products now, but I actually tried many products in the past. But there was no way to actually prioritize emails. So what I did was I actually started thinking about this, and I actually started writing this app script. Like, I'm a, I studied computer science, and just, I was a developer in the early days. I worked as a developer 5 years before JotForm. So that, right, but then I discovered, okay, I don't even need to write code. Actually, Google Gmail has all these features called like filters and labels. So I was able to actually build an automation system to myself by just using these things. So basically, what I did was I categorize emails based on like different labels, like level one, level two, level three, and basically level one is like the top priority email. That should be something I see when I open my emails. I should just see my L1 email inbox when I open it, and then level two is like the next level, and then level three is the emails that I could probably ignore. If I don't see them, that's not the end of the world, right? So what I started doing is basically every time I saw an email, I started like creating these filters. And then I started building all these labels, and you know, for example, my head of HR, if she's sending my direct email, that goes to me my level one, right? It's probably an important email, or if it's an important customer, that goes to level one, right? um, my editor at Forbes or something, right? That goes to level one, so I don't miss those emails. So basically, I created this inboxes using like bookmarks. Basically, browser bookmarks. I can just go to level one, and then so this actually saved me so much time, and it's very simple. Like there is no big technology here, but just all I have to do is like I just go to my L1. I process all these emails, and then if I have more time, I go to level two. I process those emails as well. And if I have more time, I can always review level three. And some other emails don't go to any levels. They I probably don't even see them. So basically, I built this automation system, and that's just saved me so much time because I wasn't worrying about like really important missing important emails. And I knew that when I processed my level one, uh, that was good. Like if I have like 15 minutes between meetings, I could just process level one, and then I don't have to worry about like missing something important. And this I built this system over many years. I have like thousands of these filters in my when I go to my Gmail, settings, like thousands of filters, and I'm still using this system, and it helps me process my emails. And I actually tried like so many products, even products that like kind of said, "Oh, hey, we use AI to prioritize your emails," and then none of them actually worked as much as as I wanted. And default prioritization features of Google, they don't work much really. So this system was really good, helping me prioritize. So if you think about it, like I think the biggest lesson here is automation is also about prioritization, because what's happening is that when we are just getting all these like different requests from everywhere, the problem is like it's very easy to, and you get stressed. And the main reason you get stressed is you might actually drop some ball, like you might drop something important. And when you can actually automate things, especially the things that are not really that important, you have less stuff. It's like those early days of JotForm where I when I opened my email, I only had like 10 emails a day, right? It's like going back to those times. If I can actually automate many of the things, if I can actually prioritize things, um, I'm actually saving time, not worrying about. And the other thing is like when your inbox is full of everything, it's just easy to miss something, right? You saw an important email, and then you didn't do anything about it, and then it's there and it's lost again. But back of your mind, you know that you actually forgot about something important, so you get stressed about it. So I think this was like one of the biggest automations. In terms of our teams, I think the biggest automation is the like moving to like instead of doing these launches like releases, like maybe every month or every 6 months, basically going into like this continuous automation and deployment. Basically, whenever someone from our team actually when they commit a change in the code, that actually becomes live in like in a couple of minutes. And the reason we can actually do this because we also have these hundreds of maybe thousands of automated tests. So the tests make sure that all the important features at JotForm, they don't get broken. So it's very hard to break something at JotForm. And for example, when a new employee, a developer starts at JotForm, like we ask, like one of the important things that I look for is, do they do a commit on their first day? We want them to be able to do, and this actually measures many things. Our team, were they able to prepare the computer for that person before they started, like the desk or whatever, all these things are ready. And when they come in, right, maybe they will find this, they will just find some words, in some page that says that, maybe within our product there is this sentence that's not looking good, and maybe they just change it, but they commit that, and then in like 2 minutes they see that their changes become live. So they actually contributed to JotForm on their first day, made a commit, and that's only possible because of automation, because of all these automated systems that are working, allowing this to happen. All these, and people are scared about automation, but this example tells us, like, JotForm has 35 million users, but one of our developers can actually make a commit and make it live. And the reason we are so confident about this is because we have automated tests. So automation um, doesn't have to be scary if you're actually, if you kind of know what you're doing, if you are checking on things as well, if you're actually making sure that you cannot easily break things. So it's just yeah, whole topic. It's a whole different topic. But yeah, in terms of automation, I think the biggest one was emails. Second important one was probably the um, the continuous deployment, things like that.
That's so fascinating, listening to the story of how you actually built it yourself and practically use for your employee. Especially, it's I have never heard of a new employee committing anything on the first day, let alone first 3 months. Um, but one of the things before we actually go into JotForm and how it works and your new AI features, and we also have a demo today that we can see like how it really works. I actually wanted to talk a little bit more wider on policy and strategic level because a man of your stature and knowledge and experience in IT industry definitely should have some opinions about how future of work is evolving. So, for example, one of the reports that I recently read about future of work by World Economic Forum was about how multiple factors are going to change how work is going to look like for the future, especially with huge changes during this decade. We talk about coronavirus, and then we had AI revolution, data capacities, data centers, and different new tools that have actually changed in political and economical conditions. There is no solution that can work if we don't really use AI. Automation is a must. I mean, this is not a discussion anymore. People have to find smart ways to work globally, work online. And I think one of the things that I noticed in your book very strongly is that you already foresaw all these patterns. And I was just wondering, a lot of people complain that AI is killing the jobs. Other people are very optimistic about that. How do you see an evolving workplace, and how does future going to look like? Is it going to be back to office 9 to 5, or online and remote work is the future?
I think AI is going to create a lot of jobs as well. So I don't see such a bleak future. So let me give you an example from our own company, our support team. So we have like 200 support employees, and we actually released an AI product, JotForm AI agents. That's basically customer service product with AI, and we didn't let go any of our support employees. So what really happened was, in the past, our support was all human, and it was much slower. Our average response time was around 1.5 hours. It was slow, and we couldn't deploy people on the live chat. We had live chat, but we couldn't even keep it open. Like just our team actually didn't have time, and so we had all these problems and slow response time. We couldn't provide phone support, for example. That's the same reason with the only for the enterprise clients we had Zoom and phone support, but not for like regular SaaS service customers and free users. So with the release of our AI agents, we decide, okay, we are going to use our own product. Okay, we are releasing a customer service product. Why don't we just use our own service? And that's a great way to improve our own service, like just dog food in our product. And that's what we did. And what happened is we basically deployed these chatbots pretty much everywhere on our site within our product, and people are actually started like having these AI conversations. Thousands of people started having these AI conversations, and in the early days, this actually reduced the support load a little bit. So what happened is that um, like our support team was able to like respond to our customers much faster. Human support actually got faster because there was less load on them, and AI was handling all these easy questions. Um, and the chatbot. So basically, what we did was we also have this like human in the loop feature in our chatbot. So that means that if someone says, "Okay, I want to talk to a human," then they can actually connect to that live chat from the AI, from the conversation with AI. They can actually start talking with human. And we also like we are getting like around 200 conversations daily right now. So we are now able to also do live chat, which wasn't possible before, and we were able to reduce that human response time from 1.5 hours to half an hour now. So we are providing much, and I think it's not just about the time speed. Our actually support team is rushing less because AI is handling all these like easy cases, and even our regular support ticket system, not just the techbot, chatbot, but also with our regular ticket system, like support system, uh, like when someone asks a question, we are actually deploying our own AI agent to answer the questions first. And if the AI agents decide, okay, I cannot answer this question, it will just let the human handle it. Or if the AI agent is confident that it can answer that question, then it's going to answer that question. And if the user, says, "Yeah, this is good. This resolved my issue," or if one of our customer, representative, if they review the thread and they see, okay, the AI's answer wasn't good enough, they can just go and answer that as well. So that also reduced the load on our team. So what happened is that all these easy questions are handled by AI, and all these like complex problems are actually handled by our human support. And because they have more time, they are able to provide a much more dedicated, higher quality answers to our customers. So I think it's win-win for everyone. And one of the ways we also deployed our support team was actually to we moved people from support team to an evaluation team of AI. So basically, instead of answering customers, what they are doing is they are actually uh, basically reading all these conversations between the AI. And some of the conversations is actually audio because they can call on the phone or they can use the voice mode. So they are either reading or listening to these conversations, and then they are actually kind of evaluating those conversations. If they are marking those conversations as resolved or not resolved, for example. And if it's not resolved, they are kind of entering information about like what was the problem, why did the AI agent failed. When we actually started this, deploying our AI agent in our own live support, customer support, the in the first day when we launched JotForm AI, when we deployed them, the resolution rate was around 25%. It was very low. And then over the next 3 months, we started with 25%, and we were able to go up to 75%. And the main reason we were able to increase that was, so the AI agent actually learns from our user guides. Our user guides weren't that good enough. They were missing information, they were outdated, they were missing whole chapters about important features. So our support team actually spent so much time improving our documentation, our user guides as well, improve that documentation. And then another problem was our product wasn't actually good enough. Like, for example, our rack system wasn't really doing a good job when the data was big. So, we changed things, like we changed our, you know, rack system, our, the model, that was used on that system, the vector database, and the, all, like, I'm not really into that, familiar with the details of that part, but basically we improved the and improved the rack system, and that actually gave us like probably like 15% increase as well. And then we also started giving our AI agent tools, right? So what was happening is that when our human support answers questions, they're actually using all these tools. Like, if someone says, "I didn't receive my email," right? I've someone filled out the form, but I didn't receive the email, right? Our human support could go to a tool and like debug it and find that what happened to the email. Did we send the email? Did we get an error message? Did the user actually had an email unsubscribed from us? Was it bouncing or something like that? They can actually see all those stuff using those tools. We basically gave all those tools that our support team uses to AI. So now the AI was able to use as well. So we've started from 25% to 75%. So what's happening is that our support team is actually, so they're now actually managing our AI support agents, and they're actually improving the agents. We have over 10 people. They're What all they are doing is like they're managing the AI. They are improving our guides. They are improving our tools. They are improving, the answers and reviewing the answers. So we are using them that way. Also, the rest of the support team is able to provide much better support. Also, in the past, like, we couldn't provide support in all languages, right? If someone, we had some languages like other than English, like we had French, German, a couple of languages that we had. But right now, like, we can answer, our AI support can answer in any language, and that's amazing because just that's not possible with humans. And I guess that's possible. Like, you can always translate, but it's not the same. Uh, so so in the end, I think it's a good ending. Everyone is winning here. As a company, we are winning here. Our customers are winning because they can get much faster support, and when they need much more detailed support from a human being, they get a much better response. They can actually talk to a live chat person as well. Our support team is like got rid of all these boring stuff, like all these same questions, like "I lost my password" kind of questions, because the AI can easily handle those easy stuff. And then uh, much more difficult things are left to the human support. And when people see that, they can get much faster response from the support, and they actually ask more questions, right? So it's if you're using a product, if you ask a question, if you don't get a response for a day, or if you get this terrible copy and paste response, like, you're not going to ask them anything again. But when you get this instant AI response, and if it's done enough, if you can, like, just talk to an live chat, real human, get a really good quality answer, then you're going to ask more questions as well. And that, in return, in the long term, this means better brand for our product, for our company, and more customer loyalty. So it's a win-win for everyone involved. Yeah.
Let's talk about evolution of JotForm. I work with a lot of companies as a consultant, and working with strategy. And normally, what happens is that when companies get to a level where JotForm is at this point, is that either they get acquired or just start dying in face of competition like Google or Microsoft or other tools. That's not happening to the JotForm. And that is against all the odds. And I was just wondering, why is that? Like, what are you doing so good and so different that it's still beating the competition, which is much bigger and have more resources than you do?
I think it's a mindset. Many startup founders start a startup with the idea that, okay, I'm gonna do a startup in 5 years. I'm gonna do an exit, and I'm gonna make big bucks, and that's their plan in the beginning. And the reason I started JotForm was because I really cared about building a good product, building good products. And when I was a student, and I studied in the US, and I'm originally from Turkey, and I studied in the US, and I worked in New York for 5 years before I started JotForm. And when I was a student, I actually released these open source products, and I loved seeing people use the products, and that was amazing. And when I had a full time job, I would actually spend, like, in the morning, I would spend my time answering my users, free users, and I also had some customers as well. And I would go to my full time job, and in the evenings, I would also go back and answer users of my open source product and my paid products as well. So that was like, I had this passion to build my own products. So I didn't have this passion for money. I had this passion to build a great product. I wanted to see how people use my products. Of course, I wanted to, also the money, having a good life, but that was more secondary for me, and that's not why I started my startup. It was more about, like, really doing a great job. It's just like, artists, they create art because they really believe in, making something great. Like, just they just want to share something they do with the world. I think it was same for me. And in the early days, I was thinking it was more like technology, or like, writing code or things like that. But I discovered that, probably last 10 years, I didn't write a single line of code. I discovered that it's not about technology or, coding. It's more about product building, and how to make great products, and how to, help people with these products, and seeing huge number of people use these products, what makes me happy. So I guess that's the reason. And um, and in the early days, JotForm was so small, and just, as I explained, like, just one employee per year in the first 5 years. So there was no opportunities like that. And then later on, um, people started knocking on my door with opportunities. But by that time, JotForm started to grow, and I didn't feel like I needed that. Like, just, I love the freedom, I love the independence, and just building a product that's great, and building for the people. And because there was no investment, because it's 100% private company, I also didn't need the money, because it was like snowballing at that point. So by the time JotForm became like this, more famous, big company, I was already developed, and I didn't actually need to take any investment. So it's just, it didn't make sense at all after that point. And I continue to enjoy the journey. It's going to be 20 years soon. I enjoy the journey. I see it as a journey. Like, I don't see an end for it. It doesn't have to have an end to it. I enjoy the journey, and I still have, like, I have three kids, 10, 8, 11, 9, and 3. So I'm still, I don't see myself as, like, getting retired as well, because, like, they're going to school, and just I cannot just go crazy and just travel the world or something like that. Anyways, so I continue to work on the and basically I'm just focused on a single topic now. For example, last 2 years I'm just focused on AI. That's all I do, and I trust in my VPs and COO and basically I'm just focused on building great AI products, and that's all I do. So that means that I'm not really, I don't have to work until like late hours. Just I can work small number of hours every day. You know, um, 5 or 6 hours every day. But since I'm just laser focused on building AI products and just meeting with the teams, product teams, and AI teams that are actually building these products, and just researching and spending my time on a single topic, that actually means that I actually enjoy my work a lot, and no need for retirement. Yeah.
It's a remarkable reminder to everyone that if you are passionate about something and then you put your heart and mind to it, and eventually it does pay off, and even without needing other people's help, you can make it in this world. And I think you're the embodiment of this success story. Um, but let's now go into JotForm's functionality. So it would be an understatement to say that JotForm is not what it started as today. It is an extremely complicated and powerful tool that use apps, that use WhatsApp integration, that has agents. It has pretty much everything. It is huge, and it offers a lot of value. So let's actually go in and see this demo that you have created for this AI features that you recently launched, and we'll get back and talk about this.
Here's the demo for JotForm AI agents. So let's first start with what is JotForm AI agents. JotForm AI agents is a feature of customer service. It's basically what's feature of customer service? It's AI, because we know that AI can as good provide answers as good as humans. In fact, AI can be better. Like I stopped using Google for a while. I've been using ChatGPT to get my answers. The same way, what if your business could have the same power? What if you could put this chatbot on your website, and then your customers could get help, or they could call your phone number and instantly get great support? And that's the idea for JotForm AI agents. There are three reasons why JotForm AI agents is great. The first one is it's free. So we have these different plans, and the free version actually provides 100 conversations. And if you are the small business that only receives, a fee, help support request, you will probably not even need to upgrade to a paid plan. But if you need to upgrade to a paid plan, you will be able to get all these great rates. And if you are this big enterprise, like there are like airlines who use JotForm AI agents to provide things like check-ins, that we also have the enterprise plan available. So the first benefit, the first thing that makes JotForm AI agents different is it's available for free. The second one is it's battle tested. JotForm has been around for a long time. We are this forms company with 30 million users. That means that we know customer support. We have this 200 strong customer support team, and we have been answering thousands of questions every single day for a very long time. So what we did was, when we launched JotForm AI agents, we basically used our own product to provide customer service to our users. And we were able to improve our product that way. And we were able to start with this 25% resolution rate with our AI agent to 75% resolution rate. And so, and the great thing about JotForm AI agents is it also has live chat features. So you could have you could have people start chatting, right? People can start chatting here, get help, and then if they need to talk to a live support person, they can also connect to the live support person. So you could do both. You could provide AI support for the first line, and then you can still have your customer support for the second level more difficult questions. So you could have both. Um, and the third reason is JotForm AI agents is not just limited to one channel. It's not just limited to this. It's actually available in 9 different channels. And I'm going to talk about these channels now. The first one is the phone agent. So basically, you can buy a phone number from JotForm. It's only $10 per month, and using this phone number, you can put this phone number on your website. You can provide it to people, and then 24/7, people are going to be able to connect to this phone number and get answers. The second one is basically you can put it on your website, just like you can see it here. You can put it on your website and provide support to people, and you can even have a voice agent on your website that can talk to people. This is especially useful when people are on mobile. We find that they want to actually talk to the voice and just get their answers quickly. And the third option is the WhatsApp. If you provide support over WhatsApp, if you don't provide support over WhatsApp, this is an opportunity to do that. And WhatsApp is like it's smaller in the US, but outside the US, everyone is using WhatsApp, and every business is providing support on WhatsApp now. And this is another channel people because it's much quicker than email, but it's not. You don't have to be like you don't have to wait for an answer like a phone, so you could just quickly shoot a question on WhatsApp and get an answer. The next one is voice agents. You can embed voice agents on your website, and people can just go there and talk to it. And Facebook or Messenger support, right? Messenger is similar to WhatsApp. Many businesses prefer to provide support on their Messenger as well. So basically, what's great about these 9 channels is you can train your agent once, and then you can provide all these kinds of customer support options to your customers, and you're not going to be actually trying to catch up with all of them. Like, you provide all these options, whatever your customers prefer, they will use that channel, and you still be able to you will still be able to not worry about trying to do all these things. Agent app is very unique to JotForm. With Agent app, you can install people can install a, a, an app on their mobile devices, and they can get support from those mobile devices. Like, just click on it. So it just makes it much easier. Shopify agent, we just released this. So basically, if you have a Shopify store, you can put our chatbot on Shopify. And what's great about that is it's integrated really closely with Shopify. So as soon as you install your Shopify agent, all the products all the products you have, all the things like shipping tracking and orders, everything is going to be integrated. So your AI agent is able to provide support to them. Let's just look at this demo, right? Here we are. I can ask, is there a bag? Is there a bag with JotForm logo on it? I can ask about products. I can get information about the products and just get answers about this product. JotForm Canvas tote bag. So yeah, it can provide information about these products. So let's keep looking at these channels. So the 8th channel is just standalone agent. You can embed this on your website. You can provide a link, and this is a great way to provide support to people by not just limited to if you don't have a website, you can still use JotForm AI agents using this standalone agent. And the kiosk mode is if you are this business that you require reservations or signups when people enter your premises, right? Just put this on your kiosk. And the great thing about JotForm AI agents, it can integrate with forms. So if you have this registration form, that can be integrated with your kiosk. So before wasting any more time, let's dive right into creating our first AI agent. So when I'm creating my AI agent, right, it's about AI, right? Why do I have to create it, right? AI can create my agent. That's the idea. So here I'm going to be creating my own agent. Let's say, and I actually created this. I use this Webflow template to create a website for myself and to be able to edit it on my. I put it on my computer, and here's the website. This is like a Webflow template. And let's say I am this cleaning service. Go to cleaners, right? I'm this clean. I have a small business called Go to Cleaners, and I provide cleaning services to my clients. To my clients, I provide home and residential and office cleaning services. Okay, yeah, this looks good, right? I want to take appointments and provide answers to my customers on my website. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm trying to do right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will create this my first AI agent, and I'm gonna put it on my website here. And I have home cleaning, deep cleaning services, office cleaning services, and I will put this chatbot right here on my web page. Okay. So it's creating this AI agent for me, and before it created the AI agent, it did it did some research. It thought about like what kind of things it can do, what kind of answer it can provide. I still need to train it, but it came with some things ready, right? From my prompt that I entered when I was creating it. So one of the things is like this. It also picked an avatar for me. So that's great. It has this avatar. I can change this avatar if I want to. And with the avatar, it actually changed the name as well of this AI agent to like I changed to a man, and it has a man name. So yeah, so I mentioned that book a cleaning service appointment. So I mentioned that I want to take appointments, and it also prepared that one, right? So and basically, I also want to provide. I went to the train tab. I also want to provide a a URL for this, right? So I'm just gonna copy my URL from and so that it can actually train by reading these pages. So basically, I'm asking it to train itself by reading my web pages so that I don't have to train it myself. Um, so the first step was build my agent. Um, Look at this. By training, it already added this learn about expert cleaning services. So it's already like adding this button for me so that it can answer questions better. And then it's trained by my web pages. And the next step is I will just copy my chatbot to my website, right? I'm just going to copy it. So I'm going to open this in my text editor, and basically I will copy this code to my text editor, and it's ready. That's it. And my web page already has Elias. It can take appointments. I can learn more about expert cleaning services. Let's do that. Let's learn more about expert cleaning services. Healthier spaces for home and offices, deep, regular, and moving cleaning options. What's the deep cleaning? All right. Yeah, looks good. And what if I want to take appointments? Can I book a day. Yes, it's been helpful so far. Yeah, well, get started scheduling your cleaning appointment. May I have your full name? Okay, so looks like I'm gonna book my day. My name is Aytekin. And providing my email address. So as we can see here, we are actually filling out a form. We can actually take a look at this form, and we can just fill out this form without actually like just talking to the chat as well. Like just JotForm also has that option, and we can even edit this form if we want to. But I'm gonna go back to this, go back to chat and demo the chat as well. So my phone number is 415-555-5555. Okay. And right. Yeah, tomorrow, 9 a.m. I wanna do tomorrow 9 a.m. Yeah, it looks like my spot is available. That's great. And I can actually integrate this appointment form, appointment agent with my Google Calendar. So it will actually know when I'm available, when I'm really available. It can integrate with Google Calendar. It can integrate with Calendly. So whatever you might be using right now, it's gonna work. And what's great about this is that the form was created for me. I just provided the URL for my website, and it was able to create a form for me. And it knows that I do home and office cleaning, and and the form was created, and I was the agent knows everything from my website. I didn't do any work to train my agent. My agent is already smart enough to figure things out for me. And if I don't like something, if I want to change the form, I can always change it. And I'm going to show that next, but I want to first complete this appointment. Yeah, this is going to be a home cleaning appointment. No, I don't want to add anything else. Everything looks good. I have my appointment for tomorrow. You're right. It wants me to review my appointment before we continue. And looks like, 9 a.m. tomorrow looks great. Let's go ahead and submit this form. And my appointment is ready. And, I could have done this with voice as well, right? Maybe I will show that next. But let's go back to the agent builder to learn more about these things, right? So what tool did we use, right? We use for one thing, we use this form, and this is it created a JotForm form. I can actually see this form here. This is the form it created for me, and I can edit this form, right? If I think, okay, additional details, and it, maybe some detail is not needed, right? Type of cleaning service, I actually need this. Additional instructions, yes, I need this. So I don't see any reason to, but if I want to add more questions to it, I can always, like, yeah, hey, maybe I actually need the address, right? I'm just gonna go there, right? So let's go ahead and add this address field as well, so that we know the address where we are gonna go to cleaning, right? That's also important. So that's it. I added the address field, and the next time I talk to it, it's gonna know. It's gonna actually know to ask that question as well. So the tools are, it can use tools like appointment fields, and I can also change the tools from the form as well, right? When we look at this form, we have this, we have this form actually has calendar integration as well, right? I can integrate this form with my Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, or Calendly, and all these integrations will be applied to my AI agent as well. So when I do that, it will actually know my real appointments, so that it's not gonna like book an appointment that's not free. If I'm using Google Calendar, it's gonna do that. So I can set actions about different things. To give you an action, if the user wants to know about deep cleaning, right? I can always, you know, what should I do? Maybe I should send an email. Maybe I can just send an email. Send an email. If people ask about deep cleaning, I will send an email to 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 myself or to someone else. Like this user asked about deep cleaning. Maybe call. Maybe we should call. We should call them now. Okay. So I could create this email and it's just gonna be triggered as soon as someone asks about this. So the knowledge base, I have all these like I trained it by my website. But if I want to upload a file, if I want to enter knowledge manually, if I want to enter Q&A, right? I can always do those things as well, and I can define an style or the if I want it to be like provide more minimal short answers, I can select that, and we could just try this, right? We picked minimal. Let's just refresh the page and see how it changes, right? I'm just gonna start a new chat, right? Start a new chat and see what kind of minimal answers I get when I ask questions, right? Let's see if it provides shorter answers. Learn more about cleaning services. It didn't went too short. Like what is deep cleaning? I guess like there's just like you cannot go too short when you are providing an explanation, but maybe we can test a really long answers, right? Chatty. I selected chatty here, right? Now my agent will provide much longer answers. Let's go ahead and close this one, refresh the page, and then start a new chat. See the answers if they get longer. Yeah, as we can see, our agent now speaks more because we selected the chat option. What is deep cleaning? All right, it gives much longer answers because we ask it to do that. Yeah, let's go back to let's change this back to short. We can provide guidelines about the answers, right? We can change the name. We can do many things. So, and one of the coolest features of JotForm AI agents is you can actually train your agent by just talking to it. Think about that. You can just train your agent by just talking to it. Um, you know, can you, let's change the name. Can you change your name to John? Let's see if we can change the name of this agent by just talking to it. All right. Yes, it can do that. Yes, proceed. And the name is changed now. And we can actually see it here. John, right? The customer service representative. How can you assist me? Can we role play? Can we role play? Let me know the scenarios or roles you wanna. Yeah, I'm a customer. Okay, how can I help you? Can I set up an appointment? Yes, please. So it's not exactly the same. If you want to role play, I think it's probably better to just open your chatbot and do it that way. But it also provided a link to the same form so that people can just go to the form and fill it out. So, you can teach your agent, you can train your agent, spend your time. I think it's a good idea to spend time to train your agent. You can also test your agent by going to preview. This will allow you to see different options, right? What if you want to see the standalone mode? What if you want to see the mobile version, right? So you can test things out this way as well, right? And this is more for visually testing stuff, but you can also test things here as well without putting it on your website as well, right? So yeah, so far so good. What do we want to do next? Let's go back to our agent. Okay, one thing we want to do is like see what happened. Like it's actually sent me emails about all these chats, conversations. So this is the conversation inbox. I can see all my conversations on this page, and I can see my form submissions on this page, and I can see the appointments and everything here. So this is great. And I can even reply to people right from here. When we look at the all the options that are available for our agents, we will find when we go to the publish tab, we will find all these different options for our agent, all these channels for our agent. And as I mentioned, the standalone mode is like just this full screen mode that can use the link. Chatbot is something you put on your web page on the right bottom corner. The phone agent allows you to buy phone numbers, and just like that. Like if I want to buy a phone number, let's say I want to buy a 415 San Francisco number, it will just give me an option, and then if I like this option, I will just buy this phone number, and I will put it on my website. I will start using it right away, and it will start answering the calls right away. Voice agent I can embed on my web page so that people can talk to it, especially on mobile. It's great. People can text. Again, I can buy a phone number. I can use the same number I bought for the phone, so that I can provide text support. WhatsApp is similarly I can provide support with WhatsApp. Shopify is like just released now, and it's just a regular chatbot, but also like really integrated with my site. So I'm not going to go through every one of these. So we also have like some new channels on the works. You can actually try them as a beta user if you see these options here. So yeah, let's try the voice agent, right? We haven't tried the voice agent. Let's try the voice agent. I'm gonna go to my web page again, and here I am, my voice agent, and I'm just gonna click on this, right, John, and open it in the voice mode, and I'm gonna talk to John.
Hello again. It's John, your AI agent. How can I assist you with your cleaning service today?
Hi, John. I want to set up an appointment for my home. Can you do that?
Oh, that sounds great. I'm here with you and we'll get everything set up just right for your home cleaning. To proceed, could you share the date and time you would like the home cleaning to be scheduled?
How about Wednesday, next Wednesday, 10 a.m.? Do you have that?
Got it. Wednesday at 10 a.m. sounds like a nice fresh start to the day. Let me see what I can do to make that happen for you. To proceed, could you please provide your full name? Also, it would be helpful if you could spell out your email address letter by letter to ensure accuracy.
All right. We are not going to do the whole demo here, but just to show you the voice option works really well as well, and people use it a lot. So far we have seen all the options built where you build your agent. Train is where you train your agent. And in publish, you have all these different options to 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 be able to use your agent in different channels and different environments. That was all for our demo, and I hope that you liked it.
Okay, so we've just seen the demo, and it looks really amazing what you have been able to capture. So just to give you an opportunity for the afterthought, like what triggered you to have those features in the product, and uh, what is the game changer nature in some areas that you think it would um, really add to the ROI for organizations and companies?
I think we started JotForm AI agents because we it was kind of accidental, because we were actually building this product for basically helping people. Like, our business is about forms, helping people fill out forms by just talking to an AI chatbot. It could be over audio on the phone, or it could be a chatbot. Right, that was the idea. But when we actually gave this product to our users, our beta users, we discovered that they were actually using this product for something else. We discovered that only like small number of people were actually using it to get people to fill out forms using chatbots. Most people were actually using customers for customer service. So, and then, okay, we decided, okay, we have all these people, they love this product, they use it as a customer chatbot, they put it on their website, they buy a phone number from us. You know, they are doing all these different things, they are using all these different channels. So let's just focus on this, and that's how, we developed JotForm AI agents. It was, and then we followed the advice from the needs of our users, and that's how actually we came up with those ideas. Also, we, as I mentioned previously, like, just we started using it for our own support, uh, our supporting our own customers using JotForm AI agents also taught us a lot, and helped us improve the product. So, for example, the API features of, like, tool features, uh, without us really using our own product, I don't think those features would have been any strong. But because we were using those products, we saw that, you know they can be much better, because we needed those features. Even today, we are actually building a different product, and when we are building this product, we base that product based on just from AI agents, and every day we are adding these new features. For example, we recently added, and we don't have that in the demo, but basically, while talking to the chatbot, you can upload a file. Um, so, for example, like, you can actually click something on the page. Just, this is something we just added on the page, and then talk to the chatbot about that. And then you can actually understand, the AI chatbot understand what you clicked on. And in our case, like, for example, on the form builder, you can select the question and say, okay, delete this, or over voice or on chatbot, and then it will just delete the thing that you selected. So, and we base that on AI agents, and we are continuously improving AI agents. So I think it's a combination of getting feedback from users. And while we were developing the product, I actually watched. So we have this user research team, and all they do is, like, they interview our users. They will just, and because JotForm has, like, free user base, we have like 35 million users. Because we have this huge free user base, that we can get feedback about anything. And while we were developing JotForm AI agents, I actually watched about 50 interviews with that our customers were using. And most of the time, like, you, until you watch that, you don't really understand how people use your product, what they are expecting from the product. And we learned so much from those conversations, and we edit those features to just from AI agents as well. But I think the most important thing is, and um, and I actually tried like another approach I use is I actually try all these competing products, and there are hundreds of different products. So when I tried all these different products, I discovered that um, you know they are basically kind of like most of them are just wrappers. They didn't really develop the product with users, and then when you actually like load a lot of information, for example, those products break. But because we were kind of tested with JotForm's huge user guides, we were able to like fix all those problems with the rack system, and it wasn't easy. That took us a while, and so I think it's about like getting feedback from users, listening to the users, and just using our own product. I think those two things made a huge difference. Uh, that's how today JotForm AI agents has like 18,000 active users. Most of them are like just on website as using a small website chatbot. But we also recently released the Instagram agent, which was huge. Like it just growing in a mind blowing way. The Instagram agent and the Gmail agent is also has a amazing growth. Which Gmail agent is basically can create drafts when you actually ask, like, you if you're providing email support, you can just all you have to do is like click on connect to Gmail. That's it, and then it will just read your all of your previous conversations and basically learn from those conversations. And then when someone actually sends you email, it will just create a draft, and you know and and we basically measure the success of the product by actually kind of comparing those drafts and final email people send, and then we are seeing huge number of people they just send that draft as it is or just making minor changes on it, and we continue to develop and improve just from AI agents, continue to add more channels, and we just added the Salesforce agent recently that integrates with your Salesforce, your Salesforce customer database or Salesforce knowledge base to answer questions you receive, and then we have upcoming agents as well. I'm not gonna pre-announce them, but basically, we will continue to basically, I think that's one of the things people love about Jet from AI agents because you train it once and you can use it everywhere. You can deploy it on your website. You can deploy it on your Instagram, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, um, your Salesforce, your Shopify store. Like just like so many places you can use it on, and then you just it's like an employee you train, and that employee can answer for you on many different platforms, and you just train it or improve it in a single platform, so you don't have to use all these different products for these different channels. Yeah.
Um, it's can you now live in Turkey with your three children and the Olive Garden, and now that you're older and wiser and a lot more successful, I mean, what would your advice be to wrap this up for people who are your children's age or a new developer who's 20 and he's still grappling with how to compete in this market? Um, what do you think is the most important trait to have in order to make it?
I think it's a growth mindset, and right now we are just right in the middle of this revolution, the AI revolution. When I was a kid, the personal computer revolution happened when I was a kid in 1980s, right? And before then, people actually used like typewriters and they, pen and paper, right? And then businesses actually moved to using computers. And then in 90s, when I was in college, basically the internet came out, and right, people actually started being able to access information anywhere, right? In 2000s, we have the mobile revolution. And I would consider 2020 to 2010s more about like these no code SaaS, online becoming like really huge. And now we are in the middle of this revolution that's even bigger than everything else, because now AI has a huge potential to be able to do so much for us. So I think it's having a growth mindset is the most important thing. Just keep learning as much as possible and keep improving yourself. And that's how I actually did. Like, when I started JotForm, I didn't know much about management, leadership. I was just this lonely developer working on the, uh, you know, uh, first floor of a building, and just writing code by myself. But then over time I started learning how to manage people, learn everything about businesses and things like that. So I think having a growth mindset is the most important thing, and that's gonna you know allow you to become part of these new technologies. And if you learn them, if you use them, basically you're going to become much more valuable to yourself. If you are doing a startup, you can do things so much more easily. Like, you need to build a website, that's it. Just vibe code your product, things like that. It's huge. I think it's huge. Like, just, it's a big revolution. So I think it's a great time to be a young person, and just there's just so much opportunities. And yeah, that's what I think.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Etkin. I had a ball talking to you. I have learned a lot from your successes, how you navigated those problems, um, and how JotForm eventually became a success despite all the odds. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Minhaj, for having me on your show. Take care.